targeted only those voters they felt would vote in certain areas of the city of Long Beach. That is not an informational piece, that's an advocacy piece, and that is illegal, using taxpayer money to do that. So they're taking a look at it. Also, the tone was threatening in the sense, gosh golly, if you don't pass this, as they say for everything, we're going to have to shut down police and parks and all this stuff. Yet they have not done an analysis that indicated that unless this passed, that they would do that. So they made that up in whole cloth. And the timing of it was not coincidental, that it was mailed out at the same time that the special interest group that the mayor set up kept saying to people at the same time, this is not a tax. This is not going to raise your utility rates. See, because unfortunately in law, you can lie through your teeth in a political piece. But you can't spend public money to do it. So the pieces that they did with the city are illegal. The pieces they did on their own, God help us, they will continue to do that. So they're lying right now about these charter amendments. The people didn't, I read what Laura Dowd said. The people did not come to them and say, oh please, we need to extend term limits, and oh please, we need a redistricting commission, and oh please, we need an ethics commission. We've been trying to get an ethics commission since I was on council. But oh please, we need all this stuff. Oh, and we need to merge the gas and water department. What happened to that measure? Well, I filed a public records request and asked to see what the analysis was of why this was being done and how it would save money. I also wanted the communication. By the way, they haven't sent me the documents yet. They actually, when they pulled it from the agenda, I got a call from City Hall. They said, well, now that we've pulled this from the agenda, you don't need your records, do you? I said, no, I need them more, because you're going to bring this back. And what I was asking is because I had heard that one of our former elected officials who's a president of several utility companies, had been lobbying to get the merger of the department so that they could then contract out our utility services to a private entity. And so when I found this out, I said I'd like to see the correspondence between the following people, and they haven't produced it yet. So they will push back often, but the thing on these charter amendments is you all need to push back. And it can't just be about term limits, it's got to be about all of them. Because one of the things I wrote in my Open Up Long Beach is that this is kabuki theater. They have created the appearance that they're really trying to do ethical reform. And they're not. Because if you were going to have ethical reform on term limits, it wouldn't impact the current sitting mayor and city council. You would move it on to the next go-round. And I will tell you a quick story. I was at the Democratic Convention in January, and I ran into Councilman Al Austin. And he said, hi Al, how are you there? You know, what's going on? He was up there because he's going to run for the state senate, which is what the term limits is all about. And we were chatting, and he said, the mayor has made a deal with us. I said, about what? And he said, term limits. He said he wants to add a third term. And I didn't get quite the details of what was offered in that deal. I did remark to him, I said, be careful what you wish for, because tell Bobby that if that passes and he wins, I'm going to be sitting next to him for the next 4 years after that, and he's not going to like that. So unfortunately, that didn't pull the charter amendment off the ballot. The point is, they are doing this because they have no place to go politically if the stars do not align in November. It's embarrassing. If Ricardo Lara does not win insurance commissioner, then Al Austin or Barbara Garcia can't run for state senate because Ricardo will keep his seat. Patrick O'Donnell's not going anywhere because he has 12 years in the assembly. So those thinking of going to the assembly can't go anyplace. Rick Richardson wants to run for mayor. If it doesn't open up, he has nowhere to go. He terms out. And as we all know, when you go out of office, it's very difficult then to come back into office. So this is about people figuring out where they're going to go. And they're desperate to have it done in November because it helps them align what's going on politically. Tell them no. They lied to us about Measure M. They lied to you about Measure A, about the use of a sales tax for improving infrastructure. They've actually improved less. And there's no reason we should believe that they're telling the truth, that this is a way to make government better in Long Beach. Thank you.